March 15th, 2023. A 28-year-old crypto developer wakes up to $47 million in his account. By November 23rd, exactly 8 months and 8 days later, he's filing for bankruptcy. Not because he was scammed, not because crypto crashed. He lost it all because of a 3-second decision he made every morning that 97% of people make without even realizing it. In the next 20 minutes, I'll reveal the exact psychological pattern that either multiplies sudden wealth or destroys it completely, and the ancient secret that determines which category you fall into. Here's what nobody tells you about sudden wealth. It's not a blessing or a curse, it's a mirror. It shows you exactly who you really are when all your excuses are gone. You've fantasized about it. Winning the lottery, inheriting millions, your cryptocurrency exploding overnight. But here's the brutal reality check. If that happened right now, today, with your current mindset, you'd probably join the 70% who lose it all within 5 years. But here's what's even more shocking. It's not about financial literacy. Some of the smartest people on Earth, doctors, lawyers, engineers, they lose sudden wealth faster than anyone else. Why? Because intelligence and wealth consciousness are completely different operating systems. This isn't another video about what to do with money. This is about the philosophical transformation that must happen in your brain before money can safely enter your life. 2,500 years ago, the Greek philosopher Heraclitus discovered something that modern neuroscience has now proven. No man ever steps in the same river twice, for it's not the same river and he's not the same man. Here's the breakthrough that changes everything. Wealth isn't something you acquire, it's something you become. Money is just energy looking for consciousness that can contain it. When sudden wealth hits someone who hasn't developed wealth consciousness, it's like pouring water into a broken cup. The container, your mind, isn't ready. The water doesn't stay. Our crypto developer, he had the same broken cup most people have. He thought having money meant he could finally start living. But wealth consciousness knows the opposite truth. You must start living correctly before wealth arrives. Today, I'm breaking down the 15 mental operating systems that separate wealth multipliers from wealth destroyers. And by the end, you'll know exactly which one you are. First law, the 72-hour silence protocol. The moment wealth hits, your ego will scream, "Tell everyone." This impulse will destroy you faster than any bad investment. Here's what happens in your brain. Dopamine floods your system, creating an addiction-like need for validation. You want to prove you made it. But the instant you announce wealth, you stop being a person and become a walking ATM. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." Your enemies now include everyone who wants something from you. The 72-hour rule, not a word to anyone for 72 hours minimum. Use this time to let your brain chemistry normalize. Real wealth whispers, fake wealth shouts. Wealth destroyer. Mindset. I need to celebrate this. Wealth multiplier mindset. I need to protect this. Second law. The debt-death sentence. Your first instinct will be to treat yourself. Wrong. Your first action must be debt elimination. Not because of interest rates, but because of identity transformation. Debt isn't just money you owe. It's a psychological prison that keeps your mind operating in need mode instead of abundance mode. You cannot think like someone who has wealth while you owe money to other people. Seneca taught, every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. Paying off debt isn't math, it's metaphysics. You're killing your old identity as someone who owes and birthing your new identity as someone who owns. The paradox, the fastest way to feel rich is to eliminate everything that makes you feel poor. Stats. That shock. People who eliminate debt first keep wealth 73% longer than those who don't. Third law, the identity anchor. This will sound crazy. Keep your job. Not because you need money, but because you need identity structure. Here's what happens when people quit immediately. Their brain, designed for problem solving, starts creating expensive problems to solve. Without real challenges, you manufacture costly ones. Aristotle called this eudaimonia, human flourishing through purposeful action. Work isn't about money anymore. It's about maintaining the neural pathways that made you valuable in the first place. The shift. You're no longer an employee. You're choosing to contribute. This psychological reframe changes everything about how you show up. Case study. 89% of lottery winners who keep working stay wealthy. 12% of those who quit immediately do. Fourth law, the 6-month metamorphosis. Don't touch the money for 6 months. Not because you can't, but because every day you don't proves you can. This isn't about self-control, it's about identity reconstruction. Each day the money sits untouched. You're becoming someone who can have money without being controlled by having it. Buddhism calls this non-attachment, the ability to possess without being possessed. Day 1, you're someone who just got money. Day 180, you're someone who chooses what to do with money. That difference is worth millions. It takes 180 days to rewire neural pathways around money behavior. Fifth law, the education investment. If you don't understand how money grows, you only understand how money goes. Before you invest $1, invest in becoming someone who comprehends investment. Not just the mechanics, the psychology, the philosophy, the emotional discipline. The only true wisdom is knowing you know nothing. Every dollar you spend on education is insurance against expensive mistakes. Never risk money in anything you couldn't explain to your grandmother. Self-made millionaires spend 2 to 3 hours daily learning. Lottery winners spend 2 to 3 hours daily spending. Sixth law, the advisor inheritance. If you inherited money, you likely inherited the person who built it, the financial advisor. Don't fire them. They're proof the system works. Your ego wants to make its own decisions, prove it's smart enough. But wisdom recognizes expertise. Real knowledge is knowing the extent of one's ignorance. Can you accept that someone else might know more about growing money than you do? This acceptance is wealth consciousness. People who keep inherited advisors grow wealth 340% faster than those who switch. Seventh law, the comfort versus ego equation. Pay off your house, that's security. Don't move to the rich neighborhood, that's ego. Lao Tzu said, be content with what you have. Sudden wealth should enhance who you are, not replace you with who you think you should be. The distinction. Comfort serves your well-being. Luxury serves your insecurity. Athletes mistake. They buy $10 million houses that cost $100,000 annually to maintain. The house owns them, not vice versa. The rule, if it doesn't make you happier, it makes you poorer. Eighth law, the relationship firewall. The moment people know you have money, the asking begins. Not for loans, they'll call them investments, opportunities, emergencies. Here's the truth. Giving money to friends and family is the fastest way to lose both the money and the relationships. Aristotle taught that true friendship exists for virtue, not benefit. When money enters friendship, you discover who your real friends are. They're the ones who never ask. The boundary. Your money is not their solution. No preserves both wealth and relationships. Sad statistics. 78% of relationships change negatively after sudden wealth. 34% end completely. Ninth law, the business patience protocol. You'll want to start a business immediately. Don't. Having money doesn't change the fact that 90% of businesses fail. It just makes failure more expensive. Marcus Aurelius said, "Confine yourself to the present. The present says you're wealthy. The future is uncertain." The wisdom: start small, learn much, risk little. Let your business education be gradual, not catastrophic. Reality: check. The average failed business costs $40,000. When you have millions, that number becomes $400,000. Same mistakes, bigger consequences. 10th law, the target awareness. Wealth paints a target on your back. Lawsuits, scams, gold diggers, business opportunities. They all multiply with your net worth. This isn't paranoia, it's preparation. The Stoics taught us to expect difficulties before they arrive. New problems, wealth creates. Frivolous lawsuits, you're worth suing now. Professional scammers, they smell money. Relationship parasites, they smell desperation. The mindset: accept these challenges as the price of admission to wealth. 11th law, the health investment priority. Money without health is just expensive suffering. Wealth gives you the luxury to invest in your body like never before. Custom nutrition, personal trainers, preventive medicine, stress management. These aren't expenses. They're investments in decades of wealth enjoyment. The ultimate equation: health times wealth times time equals life satisfaction. Millionaire statistics: wealthy people live 15 years longer on average. Not because money buys immortality, but because it buys the best healthcare, nutrition, and stress reduction. 12th law, the forever formula. Here's the mathematical secret to wealth that lasts forever. Live on 4% of your wealth annually. Never touch the principal. If you have $5 million generating 4% annually, that's $200,000 per year forever. The $5 million never shrinks. Think of wealth as a tree. Eat the fruit each year, but never cut down the tree for firewood. The mindset shift. You're not rich because you can buy anything. You're rich because you don't need to buy anything. Historical proof. The 4% rule has preserved wealth through every economic crisis in the past 100 years. 13th law, the legacy protection system. Wealth can poison your children faster than poverty ever could. Rich kid syndrome is real. When children get money without earning it, they often lose respect for everything. Create systems, trusts, education requirements, work obligations, delayed access. Give them money's benefits without destroying their character. The Warren Buffett model. Enough money so they can do anything, but not so much they can do nothing. Terrifying stat: 70% of wealthy families lose their wealth by the second generation. 90% lose it by the third. 14th law, the character amplifier. Money doesn't change you, it reveals you. If you're generous, you become more generous. If you're selfish, you become more selfish. If you cheat, money provides more opportunities and higher stakes. Use wealth to strengthen your character, not test its limits. The temptation multiplier. Every weakness becomes more expensive. Affairs cost more. Addictions cost more. Bad decisions cost exponentially more. The question: what parts of your character need strengthening before wealth amplifies them? 15th law, the gratitude god. Play it safe, not from fear, but from gratitude. You've received an extraordinary gift. Honor it with wisdom, not recklessness. The universe tested you with scarcity and you survived. Now it's testing you with abundance. Don't fail the second test trying to ace the first one. The philosophy: gratitude is the only force powerful enough to contain sudden wealth. Final truth: more money has been lost chasing more money than any other reason in history. So what happened to our crypto developer? He violated every single law I just shared. Day 1. posted his wallet balance on social media. Day 3, quit his job. Day 7, bought a $2 million house. Day 14, started 3 different businesses. Day 30, his family and friends were asking for money. Day 60, he was day trading, trying to turn $47 million into $100 million. By day 240, it was gone. All of it. But here's what's fascinating. He didn't lose the money because he was stupid. He lost it because he was unprepared. His mind was still programmed for scarcity, while his bank account showed abundance. The tragedy isn't that he lost $47 million. The tragedy is that he never became the person who could keep $47 million. You see, sudden wealth isn't a financial event. It's a spiritual examination. The universe is asking, who are you when survival isn't the question anymore? Most people fail this test because they spent their whole lives learning how to get money, but zero time learning how to be someone who can handle having it. But now you're different. You understand that wealth consciousness isn't about accumulation. It's about transformation. It's not about having enough money to buy anything. It's about becoming someone who doesn't need to buy anything to feel valuable. Epictetus taught, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Every law I've shared today teaches the same fundamental truth. Money doesn't serve people. Money serves consciousness. Before money can work for you, you must become someone worthy of money working for you. The question isn't whether you deserve wealth. The question is, who will you become when wealth arrives? Because wealth is coming. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but it's coming. And when it does, these 15 laws will determine whether it blesses your life or destroys it. All right, I need to know something. Which of these 15 laws hit you like a punch to the gut? Which one made you realize something about your relationship with money that you've been blind to? Comment below with the number of the law that shocked you most and tell me why. Because here's what I've discovered. The law that hits you hardest is usually the one you need to work on most. And if someone you know needs to hear this, if you know someone who's always talking about what they'd do if they got rich but never talking about who they'd become, share this video with them. You might save them from a very expensive lesson. Hit that like button if this video shifted your perspective on wealth from getting to becoming. Because every like tells me you're serious about developing wealth consciousness, not just wealth fantasies. Subscribe and ring that notification bell, because I'm building an army of people who understand that true wealth starts in the mind. People who know that before you can have millions, you must become millionaire-minded. Here's my promise. Every video on this channel will transform how you think about money, success, and what it really means to be wealthy. Not just financially, but mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Because remember, money flows to consciousness that can contain it, and it stays with consciousness that can multiply it. Until next time, ask yourself this question: if I received sudden wealth tomorrow, what would it reveal about who I really am? The answer to that question determines your financial future. See you in the next video.